Nick, round one, pick number two. The Detroit Lions are on the clock, and boy, do they have a lot of picks in the early rounds of this draft. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have a lot to cover.
So in the number 2 overall pick in the draft, the Lions take the first quarterback off the board. They get Malik Willis out of Liberty. A lot of people are going to say this is a reach. They should go after maybe Hutchinson or Thibodeau or one of the edge guys. Look, the Detroit Lions, they need a direction. They need a future. Jared Goff isn't that future. Malik Willis is. There's a lot to love about Malik Willis. He has every physical talent you could ask for. Big, strong, tough kid, big arm, extremely mobile, extremely athletic. I love the fact that he's a transfer. I say this all the time. The fact that he had to pick up his life 2 years into college, move somewhere completely new, and have success. He's a senior. He's kind of veteran. He's not a kid. He's not a Mitchell Trubisky who only started 1 year in college. He's not even a guy like Baker Mayfield who had immaturity issues coming out of college. He seems to be a grown-up, ready to take over a franchise. I really like him as the fit. And Dan Campbell loved what he saw at the Senior Bowl, said all kinds of good things about Malik Willis. I think this is exactly what Detroit needs to do here.
Yeah, you hit this one nail on the head. Dan Campbell absolutely gushed about Malik Willis. He said he's built different, built better. So how can they not go with a quarterback like this? Who else would you want? You don't want Jared Goff, who's built dime a dozen like every other young California blonde-haired quarterback to come into the league. This is Malik Willis. He is built different. He's the kind of quarterback that the Detroit Lions have been waiting for. So you got to go ahead and grab him while he's hot. Get him early before somebody else scoops him up from under your nose. You can't wait till one of your other picks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And speaking of one of their other picks in the first round, they have the number 32 pick in the first round that they got in the trade from the Rams when they acquired Jared Goff. And right here, we have them taking Jahan Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State. This guy is one of my favorite receivers in the draft. He's not the biggest guy, not the most explosive, not the fastest, but he is a great high pointer of the football. He wins contested catches. He's got good speed. He reminds me of Dez Bryant. He fights. He catches the football angry. Dez Bryant's the only guy I've ever seen who makes those kind of plays where he just is mad to go catch the football. That's what Dotson reminded me. When I see Dotson play football at Penn State, that's exactly who I thought of. And I think it's a great fit for what the Lions are want to do. They want those kind of guys. They want those mentality, tough guys, competitive guys. That's what Dan Campbell wants, and Dotson is that kind of player.
Exactly. Once again, a guy who fits the Dan Campbell mentality. I love a guy just like Dotson, very productive in college as well. That's what you want to see out of your receivers. Someone who played in the Big Ten at Penn State, who plays against a lot of tough competition in Ohio State, other Michigan teams, stuff like that. They go against a lot of other stuff, or a lot of other tough teams, a lot of other tough DBs, stuff like that. So he seems like he'd be really, really NFL ready. And like you said, he fits the Dan Campbell narrative. Another great fit for this Detroit Lions team.
All right, and just a few picks later in the second round, they only have one second-round pick, and they get another Dan Campbell guy. They get defensive lineman from Georgia, Devonte Wyatt. Wyatt was versatile. That was his claim to fame at Georgia. He lined up everywhere. He lined up in what's called the 1 technique, which is on the center, 3 technique on the guard, 4 technique on the tackle. He lined up all over the place. They did all kinds of things with him, but he is known first and foremost with being a high energy, high motor, loves playing football guy, plays football 110 miles an hour every time. That's exactly the kind of kneecap biting defensive lineman that Dan Campbell really is going to love. And I think he's going to fit right in with the Detroit Lions right away as they continue their rebuild and really re-jumpstart that attitude on their defense.
Yeah, and some people would say, oh, Detroit's missing out by not getting Thibodeau or Hutchinson early on in the draft. What you can do is pivot, maybe not on an edge, but a good defensive lineman. Like you said, this guy's got high motor, he's got high energy, very versatile, can play all around the ball. This is another guy that you can kind of come make up for your quote-unquote loss in the earlier round and get your defensive line back to where it needs to be.
Okay, moving into the third round, the first of 2 third-round picks, running back Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame. This guy has every tool in the book at running back. He can pass block. He can obviously run. He's a great receiver out of the backfield. I see him splitting time with DeAndre Swift and making a lot of big plays at the running back position. And he's a home run hitter, right? He had a lot of big runs in his career at Notre Dame, especially the big one against Clemson a couple of years ago. A lot of people remember that one. I think he gets big playing time right away. I kind of compare him a lot to Tony Pollard with Dallas, where he gets a lot of home run plays, a lot of big catches, a lot of big runs, especially when you pair him with a guy like Malik Willis, get a lot of zone read action going on. I think it's a great fit. And my favorite part when I looked at every scouting report of Kyren Williams is that they said he runs angrier and harder than his size. It's just another Dan Campbell guy. It just fits.
Absolutely. And I personally love running back by committee. So let's give Swift a little bit of a break. Let's throw another one. I think the Pollard reference is perfect for him. So I think this is a great pickup. Running back by committee. Give the Detroit Lions a little bit more versatility, explosiveness out of the backfield.
All right, and finishing up the last pick that the Lions have here in the first 3 rounds. It's number 97 in the 3rd round. It's Jamari Salyer. I hope I say that right. That's the offensive lineman out of Georgia. This guy's an interesting player. He was a very highly touted recruit. I think the number 1 offensive lineman by a lot of big recruiting services coming in out of high school. Didn't quite live up to that. This guy projects as a guard, but he can play everywhere. He's good at everything, but not great at anything. I don't think if he's an NFL starter, he could be. I mean, he has the SEC experience, so he certainly knows how to play against elite level pass rushers, but I love his versatility. How many times do we see injuries at the offensive line position really derail team seasons? This is a guy that can come in if you have an injury and play literally any one of the positions, and he's got the experience and the talent level to do it. I think this is a great pick at the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah, this seems like a true blue chip replacement policy for, like you said, if there's an injury on the offensive line, and is very versatile, can play tackle, can play guard. Who knows? Maybe he can play center. Probably not, but we'll see. But the other thing is, at this point in the draft, I think this is the 43rd Georgia player that's been selected in the first 3 rounds. It seems like they're going everywhere. This is the second one that the Lions would have picked up. I think, camaraderie, being with your other teammates, that might help as well. So, who knows if he is a true starting caliber NFL offensive lineman, but it is really nice to have depth at the O-line, and I think if you are going to be Detroit, you're building for the future, this is really great.